What's up, girl? How you doing? I thought I'd record a video. So here's the deal. I am always in this brainstorming or brain mapping or revelatory state, I feel like. And some things that I'm learning about dating, I'm going to be publishing this stuff in different ways. I have like 13 dating tips, and I know I'm going to be like so many more dating tips I have, and I'm going to publish it. But I thought I'd share them with you because you are in that stage. Sorry, I got a hamster out, and he is all up on me. So listen, this is something that I learned and something that God's been speaking to me. Soul ties, and take as you please. Take if you feel like it applies to you, go for it. I know you said it's okay for me to kind of share these things with you and share stuff like this with you. And thank you for your humility. So, what I learned about soul ties is, and just go with me, whatever you know, just reinforce me. How about this? So, what I learned about soul ties is a soul tie is basically us being tied, kind of like tethered to another person. You know, we are body. God breathes life into us, a breath of life, and we become a living being. We become animated, meaning we become a soul. And so a lot of times our soul, our existence, our everything about us gets tied to a person, to where we feel like we can't separate ourselves from that person, you know? And what I've learned is that soul ties are always established through beliefs. It is a system of beliefs. Because I always would hear soul ties. I understand, like, when it comes to sex and all that stuff, but I just couldn't put like a stamp on it. I'm like, okay, here it is, Lord. Thank you for just reiterating this for me. But it is a system of beliefs. And so a lot of times when we get tied to someone, it is because we believe something about them. And the deeper that belief, the stronger the soul tie. So when I was in a relationship and I was having sex with old dude and blah, 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 I strongly believed that we would be together in some kind of way. I believed that he would get better. Like, my belief, and this is how the enemy had me tied, was we would get better. He's going to get better. Things are going to change. And that's the whole thing. It's going to get better. And so it kept me bound. It kept me tied to that brother. And you know, soul ties can be based on good things. I have soul ties. We all have soul ties. We're tied to our family members. We're tied to different people, healthy relationships. But a lot of times, negative soul ties are established through lies, through negative beliefs. So what I wanted to share, and this is something that I'm thinking about, just in dating in general. Think about your beliefs, and the deeper the soul tie, or the deeper the connection, the more emotional, or the more, let's just say that, the more emotional it would be. So for example, when you're in this dating phase, I think heart boundaries is necessary. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly that looks like, though. Because of course when you're dating, you're getting to know one another, you're sharing intimate thoughts and stuff like that with one another. But remember this: whatever you share, always share anything that you are not afraid to be exposed. Let's just say that. Because if it does not work out, and somebody who's dating, they go their separate ways, whatever they told that person, it will go with them. So that person can take what you said or whatever, and tell whoever they want to tell, because you guys are not on that road to commitment or anything like that. And so, heart boundaries. Have you thought about heart boundaries, and exactly what does that look like for you? So that's the thing with me. Whatever I share in my dating phase, or it's going to be things that I'm okay with sharing with other people, but I'm an open book. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a delicate balance between that, making sure you share things that are not, that you don't mind potentially being shared with somebody else, and you know, not being deceptive at the same time, like not withholding things that you probably should share, so that you could get to know one another, so to see, you know, if you guys are compatible. And so this question came up to me when it comes to soul ties. Like, in this dating phase, if it does not work out, and this is for anybody, I'm just talking in general, if you're dating someone and you see, okay, we're not on this path to commitment. Would you be able to draw back? Would you be able to see him with another woman? Would you be able to see him marry somebody else? If the answer is no, it may be that you've created a soul tie, a unhealthy soul tie that is based on some false beliefs. Because this is what happens in our dating phase. We get tied to a fantasy, or we get tied to a belief. This is my husband. And here's the thing: ain't nothing reality until it's reality. It's good to be hopeful. It's good to be optimistic. But ain't nothing reality until it's reality. So this is my husband. So you bind yourself, you establish, you form that belief, and it has to be so. And this is where a lot of women get caught up. Start to believe things that's not reality. And so this is something that I shared with a friend who gets caught up in fantasy. Your approach in dating should be period, not comma. When you establish, or when you understand truths about someone, it should be a period. Okay, he's fine, period. Not, oh, he's fine, and we're gonna have 3 kids. And you create this whole fantasy mind in your fantasy world in your mind, and you going on and on and on in this false reality, and it's full of, shall I say, lies, because it's like, it's not a reality now. Come back to earth and deal with what's going on right here, right now. Okay, you don't know who this man is, or you don't know if you guys will make it past 2 weeks. You don't know that, but because you've already established this fantasy world, it forces, or it establishes a deeper soul tie based on a false belief. I'm hoping this is making sense. I'm practicing recording this so I can explain this later to people. The deeper the soul tie, because here's the thing: when you're talking to someone, there is a soul tie, regardless. There's some level of belief going on. But the deeper the soul ties, or the deeper those beliefs, the harder or the more painful it will be if there's a separation. If, okay, we decide this is not going to be. So I'm saying this, I'm sharing this with you to consider that. Consider the beliefs you already have with this individual and what they're based on. Are they truth? Are you staying in reality and not a fantasy world? It's just really being prepared to separate, if that was, and this is for any dating relationship. I think this is so healthy and so needed. For example, that young lady who was stalking me, she's a young lady from here on out. I created a soul tie with her. She came in through desperation. She came in through, can you help me? Woe is me type ordeal. And that's very characteristic of that spirit. But she was establishing a soul tie with me through her words. Soul ties are always established through hearing. When you hear things about somebody, because when I heard, oh, she's struggling with suicide, oh, she's this, she's been rejected, I established a belief in me, like, I'm called to help her. I can help her. I won't reject you, or, it is my job to train you. It is my job to mentor you, to show you that there is someone loves you, or something like that. I established a soul tie with her, a connection with her. And as long as I believe that it is me, I'm supposed to show you what love is, or I'm supposed to be a mentor. As long as I believe that, it was hard for me to separate, or it would have been harder for me to separate from her. And so what are your beliefs? Because that is creating the soul tie. The more stronger those beliefs are, the more deeper the soul tie is, and the harder the separation will be, if there is one in our dating, seasons, our dating time. Okay, I'm gonna share this one as well. Something that God has been speaking to me as well about dating. So this is what I've also learned throughout the dating phase. It is a time to explore, a time to enjoy life, a time to have fun, but this is also a time of war. It should be one of the most sober-minded phases or encounters. And in our society, in our culture, we do the very opposite. We get into these connections, into these relationships, and we just go dumb. we just go into la la land. We just get all caught up in the gooey feelings of, you know, infatuation or looks and fantasy, and we just let go. It's like we do like this. Oh, he's so fine, he's so cute, or oh, he know God, and oh yes. But in actuality, this is how the dating phase should always be. Yes, okay. Laugh it up. Yes, enjoy. Okay. So, yeah, you don't know how to be on time. You struggle with that big time. Okay, let me write that down. It should be studying. It should be the most sober time so that you can collect the data to compare, to discern, to decide, is this a person that I can spend the rest of my life with? That is one of the most important decisions I feel anybody can make outside of accepting Jesus, because who you choose, their character, their belief, their everything about them, that is going to determine you the rest of your life. The rest of your life. And so that dating phase, you got to go to work. You got to be so present, so sober minded, and you got to get your emotions out. Nobody has time to have to filter through emotions when you're dealing with hard facts. When you're dealing with hard facts, you can't be like, this is this and that, but I feel like I can help him. I feel like I can change that. That ain't reality. Your feelings is not the reality. Okay? Reality is what's reality. Reality is the hard facts, hardcore data. How sober-minded are we during our dating phase? Because at any moment, based on the hard facts or based on the revelation from God, if God say, stop it. If God say, no. Or if you get that revelation, you know, it should be like, done and done. But a lot of times in our dating phase, we don't do that because we didn't have sex. We connected our bodies in some kind of way. So oxytocin has had its way to where we have bonded, and it's like it's harder to walk away from that person. It should never be hard. That's the thing. It should never be hard to walk away from any dating relationship when something has been revealed to you, because it is one of the most, like I said, one of the most important times, because the devil, it's one of the prime times for him, because he can get into so many different ways, through the beliefs, through the emotions, through the fantasies, all these things. And he would love to have us off our guard. He would love to just throw our discernment off and get our emotions tied into where we can't see nothing. He would love us to connect ourselves with a person we should have no business to be with, you know. He would love to do that. He would love to do that. And dating is one of the ways that he does that. Dating is the main time that people create these soul ties, they have sex, and they destroy it. They destroy the dating process. Yeah, so be encouraged. Thank you for allowing me to dump on you as I brain map, as I process these dating things and revelatory things that I'm thinking of. Also, I'm so glad that you have developed in getting your wise counsel, because we never date in isolation, girl. And I'm encouraged by your journey with that, because you need all ears, all eyes on deck. What is this hamster doing? And it's good. It's good. I'm out, girl. Have a good day. Bye.